Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Becca and this is the video where I show you how I painted my cabinets to look this beautiful. This project took a very long time. It took a lot of work, and at the end of the day I can say that I'm very happy that I decided to do this. I will say this project is not for the faint of heart, so if you are thinking about painting your cabinets, get ready, prepare for a full 1 to 2 weeks of your life to be taken up by the project, but also prepare to feel very satisfied with yourself. This was a really challenging yet awesome process to see my kitchen go from really sad and weird, old, outdated kitchen to this, and I'm really happy about it. I want to say first, if there is anyone out there who's gonna drag me in the comments for painting my wood cabinets, it was either paint them or get new cabinets in general, so I felt like this would be the better option as of right now. Who knows if I will replace them in the future, but yeah, I'm not really down to be scrutinized for painting over wood. This is just what I decided to do. It is my house, I do own this house, and I can do whatever I want with it. So with that being said, this video is going to take you through the entire process, so I hope that you're ready for that. All right, I won't keep you much longer. I hope that you enjoy the video. Phase 1 of this project included scrubbing all of my cabinets with dish soap and water, and also giving it a light sand with this super fine grit sander just to get off a little bit of the extra grease marks. There was some leftover or just crusty things that were around where the handles were, so I used this sander to sort of sand down the whole thing, and then I would alternate between the sander and the dish soap mixture. And I just did this because it's really important that you don't have any grease spots on your cabinets, and oftentimes you won't even see the grease spots until after you've already painted them, which I did find a lot of grease spots after the fact, even though I did this entire scrubbing process. So I would say this is the most important part, is to properly get your cabinets ready for paint, because when you are using chalk paint, you don't need to sand them down or do any sort of prep work besides this. So you're kind of already getting off a little bit easier than you would if you were using any other method of painting your cabinets. So definitely don't skimp on these little details. You can see me here taking off these cabinets because I want these cabinet fronts to be open. I wanted open shelving in the kitchen, and I felt like a really good way to do that was to just not put these cabinet fronts back on. There was a layer of contact paper on the inside of all of the drawers and also the top of these shelves, and I didn't want that because I'm going to be painting these shelves, obviously, because it's going to be open. The contact paper is actually still on the inside of the drawers, but I would like to remove it and replace it maybe with the wallpaper that I got, that I have some leftovers, or just leave it blank. I'm not exactly sure yet, but it was a bit of a pain to remove, but it does all come off at once. It's basically just a big sticker. So if you are ever wanting to use contact paper in your kitchen, I can tell you that it does come off. And also, since I'm going to be painting the inside of this entire thing, I wanted to make sure that it was nice and clean. Also, I did not scrub the inside of the cabinet doors because I didn't think that grease could even possibly be built up there, but that is where I found the most grease spots. So if it saves you time scrubbing back the paint to get rid of the grease spots, I would definitely suggest also scrubbing the inside of your cabinet doors, because there could also be grease there too. Okay, so I've just finished washing all of the cabinets. So now the next step is to paint, and I'm really excited. I'm nervous. It's a really big project. It's a big undertaking, but I think we can do it. So anyway, the reason that, well, I probably already said this in a voiceover, but I wanted to be really, really diligent about washing them because, you know, you get some grease spots underneath the paint and then the paint doesn't respond very well. So if there is a grease spot, I will probably find out pretty quickly, and it's not like the end of the world. If you missed a grease spot, you just like sand that part down and like paint over it, I think. Something like that. I need to refer back to the blog post, which obviously I have linked down below. Probably already said that too. You can see that I took off these, and I was talking to Daniel about removing these middle things. What did you say about this? Do you think we could remove those?
I didn't look at it.
I mean, there's nothing like, it's not, it just looks like it's glued. It kind of ruins the open shelving look that I wanted to achieve here. Like maybe if we got like one of those like soft hammers, like a soft mallet or something, and just like hit it out. but I don't want to break them is the thing. But I don't like having these two things here. It's not the end of the world by any means. I'm still gonna paint with it on because I don't know how we would remove it.
Oh, it depends, huh? Cause like, is this holding up these? No?
No, it's not, it's just there. It's not holding anything up.
Oh, is it screwed in?
I don't think so. There's no screws underneath. Like I said, I think it's just wood glued in.
Maybe. I'm gonna try and pull it.
But, okay, but be really gentle. Well, I'm gonna paint it and then later on I'll try to revisit that when I can. Maybe we could saw it off. Well, in any case. Okay, I'm gonna get to painting because it's a little bit later in the evening now. It's like 5:30, but the light stays in here pretty well. Yeah, but if I was just painting during actual good lighting, this project would never get done because I have a job. So I'm going to start painting. I think I'm gonna start over here in this section, just because I feel like this is where I started the project. Like I took off all of these hinges and stuff first, or the hardware. I took all of that off first, so I might as well just like start painting over here first. It feels a little bit less stressful. Okay, so here are all of my supplies for the project. The blog post that I'm following suggested getting these specific brushes, and so I had Daniel go out and get them for me one day when he was in town. Hopefully these will be okay. And then also I was thinking I might want a roller to make it go faster, maybe for like the first coat or something. So I got this little roller. It's like just a little one. Well, you saw this right here. That is the roller information. And then also this little roller. And we mainly got this one because it has the tray. So I'm gonna use this tray to pour the paint into. And this was a bonus, I guess. I don't know if I'll use this one for this project. We will see. And then as far as the paint goes, I'm using Annie Sloan chalk paint, and this is the paint and the color that the tutorial I'm following uses. She used a different color for her bottom cabinets, but because this is not our forever home and we know that, I just wanted to make it white, and I didn't want to do anything like crazy colorful because just in case the next person who lives here or like the next buyer doesn't like the color, I don't want that to be a reason that they don't buy the house, you know? And then also really important, we have the clear wax, which will make it waterproof. This is chalk paint, so that means that you don't need to prime anything or even sand anything down. I chose to do a little bit of sanding with the fine grit sander, which you saw, but that was mainly because I wanted to really make sure that there wasn't any grease baked onto the cabinets or really just like anything extra, because there was like some bumpy stuff on the cabinets. So I wanted to get rid of everything. So I went over it with a little fine sander, which you saw. And then once we're finished, I will use this. So I have no idea what the consistency of this looks like. Before all of that, I need to put down my drop cloths. Daniel requested that I use these and some tape. So I'm gonna tape off, I guess, the areas that I don't want to get paint on them, because apparently painting is messy. I'm not sure. I haven't done a ton of painting, to be honest with you. So this is gonna be an adventure. I have a whole house to paint, so I'm gonna start practicing, I suppose, with my cabinets, which maybe I should have not been practicing with my cabinets, but oh well. At the first stage of the project, I wanted to just try out the roller and see what I thought, but it turned out to paint on a little bit spongy, and now I'm realizing that I probably just didn't have enough paint on the roller, but I just decided at that point that I wanted to only use the brushes, which is pretty much what I used for the entire project. I did use the rollers around the edges, as you can see me doing here, from time to time, but eventually I just ditched the roller and only went with the paintbrush, which caused a little bit of extra work in the end, and maybe I would consider other roller options in the future, but this is just what I did this time, and no regrets, you know? Gotta trust the process. It is a long process, and it is honestly so satisfying to look back at this footage and see the cabinets transform from being a little dingy to, well, what I see now as I'm sitting in my kitchen editing this video. I also would like to say some advice that I got after I was completely finished with all the cabinets, or I at least read this online, is if you are going to be using the pure white paint from Annie Sloan herself actually suggests that you do the first layer in the country gray option that they have, and that will just help the wood not to completely soak in all of that first layer, because the white is the least covering of all of the Annie Sloan chalk paints, because of course it is white. And also, before anyone exits out of the video right now, I know that we're already a few minutes in, but I did end up taking all of the doors off, so it was a bit lazy to leave them on initially, but I thought I could get away with it. I saw a lot of videos of people doing this, and then I realized that it was just gonna look really sloppy, and I wanted this to look as professional as possible. So I did end up taking off those doors eventually. I will probably be talking about it in the next couple of clips, but yeah, just so we know, if you are going to be doing this project, I would definitely start off with detaching all of the cabinet fronts just to make this a lot faster, because it was an extra step to do the first layer of paint, realized I needed to remove them, and then remove them, you know. So anyway, just a little bit of advice and wisdom from someone who's gone through the process. Okay, so I have finished the first coat. It is midnight. It's midnight. Oh my gosh, it's midnight. Okay. I started this at like 6:30, I think. So it took me a long time. It took me a really long time. Let me show you. So this is the, oh shoot, I didn't do those. Okay, I forgot about those. Right, all right, so let's avoid that part. But this is the first layer. I am going to be doing 2 more layers. I am going to be needing to do this section right here as well, but I really don't want to do that tonight. I really don't. So these are all of the drawer fronts. I don't have that many drawers actually. This section took a very long time, and I decided to paint all of it white, even the inside. And I'm thinking that I might want to do like wallpaper on the inside back wall, or just plain white. I haven't decided, but I figured that I would paint it white. And I did have one little mistake right there. Otherwise, everything was within the tape. Like I said, it took a long time, but I think that it looks really good. Obviously, it doesn't look incredible, but the first coat always looks like this, is what I'm hearing. Again, tomorrow I'm going to do the second coat. I have to wait 24 hours. So tomorrow afternoon, I want to start a little bit earlier tomorrow. Like, I know it says to wait 24 hours, but I'll probably do it like maybe tomorrow starting at noon. But yeah, that's the update, and I don't know how much I'm gonna film tomorrow because it's gonna be literally the exact same thing, but I will show you an update what it looks like with the second coat. Okay, so I'll see you then. All right, so here is all of the cabinet fronts removed, and I am painting the first layer on the inside on day 2. I did not do this on day 1. For some reason, I thought that I wouldn't need to, and it wouldn't look bad to have the inside still the wood color. And then I quickly realized that that was very silly and it looked terrible. So I removed them and promptly started to paint them. And what I did to kind of hold them up is I put these cans down, which wasn't the greatest. I'll admit, there are special things that you can buy to lift up your cabinets when you're painting them. So I'd suggest you get those instead. Okay, so I'm down here on the floor. I have finished. Actually, no, I haven't finished all of the pieces. I still have those right there to do, but the drawers are in the way and I kind of want to take a break from that. So I have my fine grit sander, and I'm just going to like really gently run it over the first layer of paint. I'm not really taking it super seriously. I'm just kind of like running it over kind of like this, and I am gonna cover my face like this. That just kind of like softens it up a little bit. and makes it just like a little bit more even to paint on again, because there are brush strokes, but I have a feeling that as I keep putting on layers, there will be less brush strokes. At this point, I'm feeling like, have I made a huge mistake? Because this is a lot of work, number one, obviously, but mostly I'm just really worried it's gonna look bad. Like, I'm really worried about streaks, you know. I don't want it to look streaky. I want it to look just like straight up solid white, but I have to have realistic expectations. You know, it was either this or completely replace the cabinets, so I'm choosing this. So I don't know, either way it'll be fine. So in an effort to keep it more uniform, I'm gonna do that. So I've got some YouTube playing on the TV right behind the counter over here that I can watch, and I'm just going to start painting again. Second coat already made it look so much better. Let me zoom in so that you can get like a full effect. Okay, so you can kind of see the brush stroke area right here. That's where a lot of the strokes like stopped. So it's not like incredible. I'm trying not to like paint over it too much because this stuff dries really easily or really fast, and when it dries it starts to get like chunky if you're like putting a brush over it. So anyway, I am putting on like a little bit thicker of layers this time as well. When I did the first layer, I did it pretty thin. So I am being a little bit more heavy-handed on the paint because I think that's just gonna help a lot to make it look better. So anyway, that's the update, and I will let you know when I have any more updates. Okay, I just filmed an entire update and then I noticed that my microphone was not turned on, so that's really fun. Basically, I was just showing you what the end of day 2 progress is. A few more cabinets to paint the backs of. These are from this section here, up there and up there, that I didn't take down yet. Like this morning I didn't do that. So those are taken down now and I'm doing the backs, and I ran out of paint when I was working on that one. So I am gonna be needing more paint. So I fully ran out of the 2 cans. So I think I'm gonna go buy 2 more cans because I think that I actually only need 1 more can, but on the off chance I need like half a can or just a little bit more, I'm just gonna buy it because it might be nice just to have the can on hand for touch-ups if I ever need that. So I don't necessarily want to do that, but I feel like I should. So anyway, with the second coat, it just looks so much better. It's not as splotchy. And in here, I'm thinking that I want to put wallpaper back here. So I don't have wallpaper picked out as of right now, but I'm gonna look online right now and see if I can find anything that I like. That is the situation. I will check in with you tomorrow after I work, because I'm gonna do it after work. Now we're going into the week, so I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do like the entire kitchen in one night. That's the plan, but I do need to also go to the store to get more of the paint like I talked about earlier. So that is the update as of right now, and I'm feeling really good about it. I'm feeling better. Before I was feeling really unconfident and I didn't think that it was gonna be okay, but it is gonna be okay. The countertops are gonna go. So I am trying not to get paint on them because we don't know when we're going to get new countertops, probably the next like month or 2. So I'm trying to be careful with them. But there is like some paint stuff on it, and I've noticed that it wipes off really easy with water, so that's good. So I will see you tomorrow. I have just opened can number 4 of this chalk paint. Hopefully that is the last can that I have to open because I really don't want to go and buy more paint because it is very expensive. Gosh, I'm just really surprised that I'm using as much paint as I am because the blog post that I followed, I'm pretty sure she only used 3 cans. Don't quote me on that. I'll have to look back and see just the data. But I feel like I do have a lot of cabinets and also painting the inside of this cabinet right here has taken quite a bit of paint, so I don't know, we'll see. This is my last coat that I'm going to be administering, and after this I'm just going to do some touch-ups on areas that really need it. I would say that the best part of all of this is the drawer fronts. The drawer fronts look amazing. I'm really, really proud of them. They're just like no streaks on the drawer fronts. They're beautiful as is, but on everything else, I think I'm gonna need to do some sanding, like just like run a light little sander over it to get out some excess brush strokes. I am noticing some grease spots that came through. Let me show you what they look like just in case you do this project and you are not sure what they would look like. They did not show through until I guess today, but I should say that today is Wednesday, and I waited, well, the last day that I painted was Sunday, and then I ran out of paint, like I said, and I did not have time to go back to the store to get more paint because it's on the other side of town. Okay, so it's a little bit difficult to see because it is on our white cabinet, but you can see that spot right there is a grease spot. And I have noticed a few of these just around, and all I did was get some more of that soap. There's probably some on some suds. I got more of this soap and then I just scrubbed it. You can see it scrubs off some layers of the paint, but you just scrub it really hard to get down into that very specific spot, and then you just have to, you know, put a few more layers of paint so that that section that you scrubbed off can just catch up with the rest of the paint. Our cabinets are so annoying because they have all of these divots here, and then they also have a little curve right here, so it just makes it really difficult to get into all those little crevices. It just takes a lot of time. I'm trying to find, and I'm trying to like go back and find all of the pieces that look like this, that have that like spotty areas on it, but this was the second layer of paint on this one, so it is still a little bit spotty. That's drying a little bit before I move it down to the floor. And then, oh, which ones have 3 layers? This one has 3 layers of paint on it, except if you can see that spot where it's looking a little bit darker right here, there was a grease spot right there, so I scrubbed that area. It's going well, but it's freaking time consuming, I will admit. That's the thing that at this point I'm like, gosh, this sucks. It takes a lot of time. Like every time I've done a layer of paint, it's taken at least 5 hours, and this is my 3rd time doing it, so that's 15 hours of my life. Okay, but like I said, obviously I'm really happy that I did it. I can already feel the vibes in here are just like much better. Lots of brightness. I still have not figured out wallpaper for this yet. We have my very first power tool purchase ever, and yeah. I needed to buy a precision sander for the cabinets here because I need to get this done. I feel like I'm going crazy with my house being a disaster, because when the kitchen is a disaster, everything else is a disaster. It's very lucky that the camera cuts off right here, because below the camera, over here and behind the camera as well, is a disaster. It has a fine detail attachment and a dust collector. I thought that was fun. I'm still gonna wear a mask while I do it, just in case, because I have masks readily available to me now. I wonder what grit they included. We have this, which will be really great for like the corners, to get in the corners, but also this will be good for corners too. Just that in general has the pointy part. I don't know what I'm doing, but what I'm understanding is you just attach this, it's Velcro, to the piece, and there's extras because the tip probably wears out sooner. This is great. Like I said, my very first power tool purchase ever. Yeah. It seems pretty intuitive though. You just lock it in and get going. Okay, before I do this, I got a milkshake and I wanna enjoy the milkshake and watch something to just wind down from the day. And yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Here we go. Here's how I've been painting all of my cabinets, by the way. You can see them all here. I have some cabinets on a riser right here. It's just cans. A bunch of bugs kept flying into wet paint yesterday, and so there was just like a ton of bugs, and I was like, what are you guys doing? I'm not gonna have myself start on the drawer fronts. I'm gonna start on like the skeleton part. So I'm gonna bring you around to the other side. The plug is not super long. I don't have that much leeway here, but All right, so there's a few spots that I just want to like buff out. Let me pull you in so that you can see them maybe. I keep filming this video in the evening and it makes it really hard to see anything, but you can see there's this line right here from the paint. And also there's some like crunchy looking things right here. You can see that. It just looks bad. Here goes nothing. I'm so nervous. Ah! Oh my gosh. Here we go. Oh my god, that literally did the trick. That is exactly what we needed. There's always a shadow because of my microphone. I'm really sorry about that. But this one is post sanding. You can see the little bit right there got rubbed off, but that just like looks like it's a part of the wood grain, doesn't it? So nice. Like that does not, wow. Okay, hold on. Let me show you what it looks like without sanding, and then you can really make your choices here. So there's without sanding. You can see brush strokes galore. And admittedly, these drawer fronts were like really bad with the brush strokes. Like these are the other ones and you really can't see that many. I'll probably still sand it a little bit, but this is with sanding, this is without. It is a clear difference. So that is definitely worth having to touch up all of these little spaces, and my camera is really confused as to where to focus. So anyway, I'm going to do this sanding. I'm gonna stop recording now because I'm just gonna be doing the same thing over and over again, and I will check in with you probably when I need to do the wax. And I was researching the wax earlier today and like how to put it on and all of that, and I'm a little stressed out about it, but honestly, like, it doesn't matter if I'm stressed out about it anymore. I just need to get it done because I want my house back. I just need to get it done. I don't want this to take longer than a week. So yeah, I think I'm gonna do 2 layers of wax though. That means that I probably need to wax the skeleton, which is what I'm sanding today. I probably need to wax that tonight so that I can wipe it off and then do another layer tomorrow, because you have to wax on and wax off, which is this whole thing. Very Karate Kid. So anyway, that's all for right now. I will see you guys perhaps when I start the waxing process. Hello! It is waxing day, which means that we are almost done putting on this outfit. I'm so excited to be nearing the end of this project. It's gonna feel so good to be done. It's gonna feel so good. Okay, so I have the Annie Sloan chalk paint wax, which will give it a more finished look and help the paint to be stronger against things hitting it and all that kind of stuff. Because there have been a few times where I've like knocked into a drawer and it's left a mark on it, and or like rubbed the paint in some weird way. So now I understand very clearly why this is necessary. I'm choosing to use this. A lot of people will also use this other thing that starts with a P. I don't remember the name, poly something. I'm not doing that because, well, this was made in conjunction with the product, so I'm gonna do that. Okay, I saw a lot of people using like a flat, thick brush to like roll around in here and then roll onto the project. I couldn't find one big enough, and I didn't want to order online just because I need it now. I don't really want to wait. So I was watching a ton of tutorials and I saw that a lot of people just used rags, and that worked out really fine. So I'm expecting that that will be just fine. So I got these t-shirt rags. It's basically just t-shirt material and cut into rags. That's really, it's that simple. So what you do is you apparently just like zhuzh your hand in here, and then you apply the wax kind of like this. You know, you're just kind of wiping, wiping, wiping. And then after that you get a clean rag and then wipe it off. And then what's left is a thin layer of the wax, which will protect the cabinets. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. And this is my first time ever doing this, as it is my first time doing any of these types of projects. I am nervous. I have no idea how this is going to go, but we're just gonna do it because this needs to be done. You guys, it is finally time to remove the plastic. I put in a few of the drawers, or actually I put in all the drawers. And oh my gosh, I am so excited. This is making it seem so much more real. I waxed all of them and I put them in, and I decided that the second layer of wax is only gonna go on the drawer fronts and the cabinets, and I will do that when they're actually installed, the second coat. So as I finish the wax, I'm just putting them back in, which is so cool. Oh my God, okay. Let's remove this plastic. Are you enjoying just standing in the middle of it all, Leo? Are you enjoying just standing there? Hello, it has been a little bit since I have last filmed for this video. I was in a situation where I was just over it. I needed it to be done. I was powering through when I didn't necessarily need to do that, or I shouldn't be doing that. So I took a little bit of a break. I think it's been a total of 2 weeks since I started this project that I wanted to be 1 week. I did the first layer of wax, and then I was going to wax the rest of the cabinet doors, and then I realized, no, sweetie, they're not ready. You need another layer of paint, which was honestly the worst realization on planet Earth, and it took me a few days to come to grips with it because I did not want to have to drive across town and get another can of $38 paint. So I had Daniel do it. So that made it a lot easier. At this point, I am finished painting. Definitely finished painting. And it's not like I'm half-assing the painting and I'm just done. It's actually done now. So there is actually one thing that I'm kind of half-assing, and I'll show you later if I want. We'll see. Okay, but I was using, as shown in previous clips, probably the last clip you saw, I was just using some white rags to apply and wax off the wax. And it was okay, but I was getting wax all over my hands. There was a film on my hands for a long time after I did that because it was just, the wax was going straight through. The cloth was just absorbing that wax. I grabbed one of these and I thought that I would have to buy the one specifically by Annie Sloan. And then I realized it's just a flat paintbrush. So here's this, and I'm going to use this to apply the wax. So let's just open her up. It's just not a great smell. It kind of reminds me of Disneyland, but in a bad way. Like, yeah, it kind of reminds me of Disneyland, but I don't know what in Disneyland it reminds me of. Like maybe the hallways when you're walking into a ride, it kind of smells like that. It's like not the greatest. Yeah, anyway, and I'm going to put them all back on today because it's time. We're ready. I just breathed the biggest sigh of relief in a long time. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. It looks good. It looks good. Okay, this is a relief. Okay, so my cabinets are finished. All the dramatics aside. The cabinets are finished. I'm finally done. Well, I need to do one more coat of wax and then I'm done, but that can be done tomorrow. And for now, they are good. So let me show you what they look like. Wow. Ooh, wow. Look at her. Ooh, ignore that. Still working on that, but ooh, look. White cabinets. We're looking good. And I'm finished with what has seemed like the longest 2 weeks of my life. We are done. I don't know what else to say. I really don't. But my kitchen is bright and beautiful, and I did it myself. Oh. The TV stopped buffering. If I was to sum up this project in one phrase, it would be, don't look too close. Because from afar, they look really good, but up close, it's like, she painted these, which is fine. Yeah, you kind of have to accept that it's gonna be obvious that you painted them because, we're not perfect, are we? Hi! So I haven't updated for this video in a hot minute because honestly it took me a while to get my supplies that I needed to finish the video, but I have hardware on my cabinets and I didn't film it because you know how to put on hardware, but it looks so good. It really makes it look finished and more polished, and I have been able to unpack my kitchen, which is why there's just like a bunch of random stuff everywhere, so just ignore that. So for the wallpaper, you guys know that I was like really unsure of what I wanted to do for the wallpaper. But then I was just scrolling around and I found actually on Pinterest, no. I don't know, I think on Pinterest I saw that Magnolia Home had a wallpaper collection. So I went on to Home Depot where they have it, I guess. And see, I'm a little bit confused because when I ordered it, this is what the company was. And they stock this at Home Depot. And so I just ordered it online for them to deliver it to Home Depot. And it's really nice. It just is like a really big roll. And I think that I'm only gonna need one single roll. There's like a calculator tool online that you can use to figure out how much you're gonna need. But I'm going to be wallpapering this right here. You can see it already looks so good. And then I'm also going to be wallpapering down here. And I think that'll just make it look so much brighter, so much nicer. I did realize that I have this cabinet right here that did not get painted. Yeah. I'll do it later. I'll get to it. I even considered just putting the wallpaper on it, but I think that'll be really difficult to get the wallpaper in all the grooves. So I'm gonna have to paint it white, which is very sad, but I do still have some paint left over, so it'll be fine, but I don't wanna have to do that. I don't think that it'll be painted by the time I post this video because I can't. But anyway, it's looking so good. I just wanna keep looking at it. I have never ever put on peel and stick wallpaper before. So it was a bit of a learning curve, but you just go inch by inch. And I bought like a squeegee. I always see people put it on YouTube, like Aspen and Parker always have removable wallpaper. Like that's just what they do. It's like a part of their brand now. And Parker like gets this tool from the company that they work with, I think. And I just could not figure out what it was called. So I just got a squeegee. And it's working out just fine. I just like flatten it out as I pull the paper down slowly. I think that it'll be a lot easier to put it on like the back of the counter back here, because getting in there is a little bit difficult because of the bars, and it's just like a tight space in general. So anyway, that's what's going on. I'm really excited to have this project so close to being done, and then I can put these shelves in there, these ones, and I can style them, which I also have never done. I've never styled kitchen shelves. Okay, so the bottom has been wallpapered and it looks really nice. It was a lot harder to do this section for some reason than it was to do over there. Like I genuinely thought this would be easier, but no. I actually did run out of like full length sheets of the wallpaper and I had to do a little bit of patchwork, which looks bad. I know it looks really bad. Oh, hi Cooper. He's trying. My dog is trying to eat the microphone. Say hi. Alright you guys, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you found this entertaining and fun, and maybe you're inspired to do the same thing with your cabinets. If you have any questions about the process, please feel free to leave your comments down below, and I will definitely be getting back to all of them that I can. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!